Back at it again in Baton Rouge.
That's our stomping grounds.
Stomping grounds, man. I'm your co-host, Jeremiah Gray, a.k.a. G-Sportz.
We got Jacob Verdon right here.
And we got a special guest in the building, man. The DB coach of the LSU Tigers, Corey Raymond. Appreciate you coming on the podcast, bro.
No, I appreciate y'all having me, man. Look, it's love to come up on here.
For sure. Like I told other coaches that came on the podcast, Coach Sloan, Coach Baker, Coach Frank, even Coach Kelly when he was on, all around the building you see the path. So we're going to call this podcast The Path with Corey Raymond. I'll call it The Path with Corey Raymond.
No, it's all a blessing, brother. It's all a blessing.
For sure. Man, we always like to start the podcast off, bro, talking about your journey. Take us back, man. I know you grew up in New Iberia, the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rewind and when did you fall in love with the game of football, and how did the game of football get you to where you at today?
Ooh. Really, I grew up more than anything. My pops, he didn't play any football. He was a baseball guy. So my first sport was baseball.
Come on.
I didn't start playing football until I was like 10. From 5 to like 10 years old. Even still past that, I still played baseball. But then football got introduced to my mom's nephew, Jimmy Johnson, he rest his soul. That's when I started playing. I was 9 years old, but really the league was 10 years old. And I went to, he had his team, and I was like, man, I want to play. And he was like, okay, you want to play? I saw the guys hitting. I was like, because they had pads. And
yeah. I
was 9 years old, but everybody else was 10, so I would just be able to practice. I couldn't play in the games.
Gotcha. You would get mental reps.
Yeah, but I was so out there, still, I guess I was just getting out there with those guys, getting, tackling, doing everything. But, but like I say, my first sport was baseball. Which, you grew up playing football outside, in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Throw up tackle
and everything. And, the neighborhood that I came from, there was a lot of, more guys in the neighborhood than anything. It was about 8 of us, you know what I'm saying? So we always played, then we get played against different parts of the area, play against those guys. And so that's when I started playing football, was more, tackle football outside of it. But then I also, too, would watch football with my old man. That was another thing, I watched football. But we was also watch baseball because he was a very avid baseball guy. So I was always watching the Atlanta Braves when cable TV came on.
TBS, man.
TBS,
I grew up a Braves fan. David Justice, Ryan Gant, John Smoltz, Greg Maddux.
All those guys.
Steve Avery. Man, I used to be on there.
So that's when it all kind of, hitting that, watching baseball like that. So, and grew from there, with that. And then after that, the football became, a thing for me. And after that, I started playing, as you know, you played the Pee Wee football. Mm-hmm. From there, we were really good, started being a really good player, but still playing baseball at the same time because my pops, he was a baseball coach.
Gotcha.
So throughout the summer would be
Travel baseball.
It was in big back in the 80s and the late 70s because I'm telling my age.
Right.
69. I'm a 69 baby, and then I'm born like late 60s. So early in the 70s, early 80s, it wasn't really travel baseball.
Right.
You're right.
You're right.
So
you're right.
that was in it. Probably if it had that, I would have been doing that. But like I said, my dad had a team, and it was most of the time was all my cousins on the team. And that was the thing. And then, we started being really good. I mean, I played shortstop, always was pretty good at that time. So baseball was the beginning of the summer. Then after that, once I started playing football, it was football. And then after that, everything took off from the football, but still playing the baseball, like I said earlier. We had a good team, won a championship. That was amazing. Winning the championship was the MVP of the whole league. For winning the championship, I don't really say much about that. But I also was playing bitty basketball too.
3-sport athlete.
Yeah, I was 3-sport athlete. We went to a world championship in bitty basketball with my team. Also, I was All-American at bitty basketball. People don't know that. I be saying, man, I got a little basketball skill because I used to kind of, when you grow up in a neighborhood full of guys, so you played each season. So the season was when football season we played football. When it was basketball season we played basketball. When it was baseball we played some baseball. Playing softball, not really playing softball, but then throwing the ball. But I had my old man, so I was doing all those things at one time. And from there, went on to junior high. and then started.
Did you go to Anderson? Where you went?
No, I went to, it was New Iberia Junior High. See, Anderson wasn't there at the time.
Okay.
It was New Iberia
Gotcha.
Junior High. So I went, New Iberia Junior High. Then we went to, which was Freshman High, which is Westgate right now. So Freshman High was just a 9th grade school. So everybody went to that one school.
Gotcha.
Because at one time, Nish was one of the biggest schools, for population of students in the state.
Okay.
I think my graduation class was about 600 kids.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot.
Yeah, my graduation class. And so went from there, you know what I'm saying, from that 9th grade playing football, boom, went to Nish, started playing, got into football. But then like I say, played football, played a little bit baseball, but I got the love for not playing much because I liked the football.
How your dad felt about that?
He was a little different about it. It was like, yeah, just going with it. And he saw I had a little talent to it. So, but I mean, as you say, I'm an athlete. I feel like I could do everything.
For sure.
If you had to really go back and do it, play a little baseball more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the time, they make a lot of money, baseball players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that was that road. Then, like I say, 9th grade, then high school, started playing, 9th grade football. Then went to freshman, sophomore, playing a little bit. Then after that, it took off my junior year, and then started getting recruited and everything.
How did your recruiting process go back then? I know it was totally different how kids get recruited today.
Oh, a lot different. I mean, my first offer was at McNeese. I went to camp at McNeese, and that was my first offer. Coach Tommy Tate. That's what my first offer. You think I remember that?
Yeah.
That was my first offer going to McNeese. I really, and to be honest, I was really a Southern and Grambling fan because I went to the Bayou Class since I was like.
Well, the HBCU was big back then.
Since I was young, I was a Grambling fan. I was never a Southern fan until I came over here.
Yeah.
But I grew up Doug Williams, all those guys, Everson Wall. I grew up at Grambling. That's telling my
Eddie
football.
Robinson.
All that. I grew up that way.
Because HBCU was putting dudes in the league back then.
Yes. So every year, my pops would take me to and I'm going back a little bit, then going forward. Going to the Bayou Classic, I can remember he would say, like, if Grambling was losing, I would be crying in the stands.
For real?
Yeah.
Like you was passionate.
I was passionate. You know what I'm saying? For, the G-Men. That was one of the things. Grew up a Grambling fan.
Yeah.
But as it kept going now, once I got into high school, started playing well, and took off with now, you got your LSU, you got your A&M offering and stuff like that. I want to say my offer from McNeese came going into my junior year.
Gotcha.
Because I went to camp over there.
Right.
I can remember I was taking a bus going to camp over there. So that's when I got my first offer. But then that junior year, started playing well, all district. You know what I'm saying? So, and after that, it took off. Because we had guys, from my high school, Verge was there from Osbury, a guy named Leroy H. Chan, but really the first guy, Janet Hector, all those guys, and, Pooh Alexis, Tulane, a lot of Gerald Broussard, those guys, all those guys I kind of looked up to. You know what I'm saying? Like I was going to be, that was going to be my thing.
You wanted to be next up?
I was next up. And God willing, it wound up being, I was next up in the guy and wound up being, pretty good at football and stuff like that. And got a scholarship to LSU. I hadn't. That was my senior year was the first time I ever went to an LSU game. I had never been to LSU.
Come on.
Really, the only time I came to Baton Rouge was for Betty basketball. You play a tournament.
Right.
But I've never been on LSU campus until then.
Right.
Back in the day, what I'm saying, it was kind of, I'm living all the way across the river. It's really across the, the Mississippi, we would really never come up that way. I was always in Lafayette, or we'd go to Texas, never come back toward this way. If I had to go to New Orleans, I would hit 90.
Yep.
Back way.
Passing my way, home and all that way. Booty.
Yes, all that way. So that was that journey. Then, like I say, wound up getting a scholarship to LSU. Then came here and, redshirted my first year. Wound up playing my redshirt freshman year a lot. Thought I did well. Thought I played well and stuff like that. And, I was in all conference, but I was a real good player. I thought I was a solid player.
For sure.
Really, then we had to change my going into my senior year. Curly Hallman came. So, senior year change and, thought it was like going in my junior year. I was like, shit, I'm balling, what I'm saying, doing my thing. And like, okay, they got you ranked high, what I'm saying? Like, okay, senior year come up. It don't go that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things change. I want to be a free agent, going to the Giants.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was my little journey going to from college, being at LSU. You know, we were pretty good in the secondary here at LSU. We had the, you know,
Coach Buckles.
Yeah, Buckles. You know, I had Daryl McCorvey. You know, Wayne. You know, we had a little. I used to show them boys, tell them boys, you know, hey man, we used to play ball back in the day. You know, we had a poster here like it takes a thief.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People that really, and you true LSU fans will know it takes a thief. That was our motto back there. You know, we was out there stealing balls.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was our thing.
So, cause back then, bro, LSU wasn't the LSU we know today.
No.
So my question to you. You had, like you said, you had an A&M offer and some other schools recruiting you. What made you come to LSU when it wasn't looked at as big time football at that time?
I'm gonna keep it real. My mom was like, "You going to LSU?"
Family decision.
It was a family decision. She told everybody, "Y'all, he ain't going nowhere but to LSU."
I won't drive 30 minutes up the road, 45 minutes up the road.
You know, she and honestly, real talk, that was the best decision for me. Not because of just going for life after football.
For sure.
That was a real good, you know, that was a positive decision that my mom helped me tour me to that way. She was like, that's where you going. And you know, you're going to listen to mom.
For sure.
You know, like kids today, you know, well, we're going to let them make the decision. That, you know, back in that time, mom was like, I know best. This is what I think is best for you. And she was right.
For sure.
I didn't think about like, you know, like when times got bad, I never said, well, my mama made me come here. Now I had to, you know, like they say, you got to fight through things.
Figure it out.
Figure it out, bro. You here. You can't run. You ain't about to be transferring away. You got to go and figure it out. And I think that helped me a lot in life.
For sure.
What was your first game that you came to at LSU? You said you came in your senior year. Who they play?
I'm trying to remember. It was might have been, was it a Notre Dame game or I can't. Now I'm not too sure. I can't remember that game, but I just remember it being so many people. I had never seen. You know what I'm saying? Going to a game and it's that the crowd. That's what got me. Like, ooh, man, they got all these people here. I mean, you know, I'm in New Iberia. I mean, I've been to UL game. You know what I'm saying? Going right there, close.
Right,
you know,
right.
Going. It was USL then.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? It was USL then.
South Louisiana.
Yep. So going to that game but like going to LSU game, I've been to a Tulane game in the Dome, but I had never been to LSU game, and it was like, whoa, man, this is the
this is it,
bro.
What was it like playing in that?
What
was it like playing in that atmosphere?
At LSU, the first time I got on it, it was unreal. It's just the crowd when the guys came out, and then running through that tunnel, running through the goalpost. That's always been a thing. And it's like that band playing, and it's like you hearing that fight song in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So being down there, it's always get you chills, man.
Those 3 notes, something special.
Yeah, it was something special. So that was my thing.
See, Ray, man, I think back on them days, and I always wondered why LSU couldn't get some of the top talent to come back then. You know, some of the top talent in Louisiana wasn't staying home really until Nick Saban came.
Yeah, it was kind of, yes.
So what was the difference back then to now when kids was like, Cordell Stewart left,
coaches
Reggie Wayne,
coaches that were relatable to the kids. Relatable coaches to relate to the kids. I think that's what's the turning point. Once you got the relatable, I can relate to a person. I think that's what it wound up happening. And going out and finding a guy that's the athlete and making him better. Those things. I think that started changing. The relatable coach, going to those areas where, that them guys that might not get recruited, but you how to say, because the state produces a lot of really good players. And, you got your 3-sport guys, you got your 2-sport guys, you got your guys that just not football players. They do every sport. And that would, I think that wound up making Louisiana everybody starting to be, man, they got a lot of players out here. Because you see those guys that's playing those different sports at that single-A school or at the school that don't have the resources like every other school.
For sure.
And now, just think about it. Now you get those guys with the resources they got here. Now you can create the great athlete. And I think that's what they started doing. And that's when it started happening.
Because I remember growing up, bro, before Saban came, I used to always wonder, you watching this top talent all over the country at all these different schools. Like Ed Reed was at Miami and stuff like that. I'm like, why LSU? I was a kid then, so I didn't understand what was going on. But I would always ask myself that question. I remember asking my uncle that before, like, why all the best players in Louisiana going to all these schools out of state?
Like I say, it was that little bitty thing of and getting people understanding the state, understanding what it is also to play at LSU, but what it can do for you after life, after playing football too. All those getting people that understand that.
What you think Saban did to get people to start understanding and believing in LSU, understanding the boot, and when he come from Michigan State, like how?
Well, I guess from afar, like it's the person he hired that was in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? The coaches that he hired that was from, you know what I'm saying, that helped him, that he was able.
They made him understand.
He made him and allowed him to go in those places, because he wasn't just going to go walk in them places. You had to have somebody with you to walk in those places.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he got the right coaches that were from, like they can go in there and got with the high school coaches to, sell them that, hey, look, this is where your kids should come. This is what it can do for them and stuff like that. And at the time, I'm alumni, so at the end of the day, I'm on the back end. I'm looking. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking that you don't have to go to a private school. You don't have to be at this school to come here.
Right.
You can be at the Carvers. You can be from the West Bank. You know what I'm saying? Them schools there, and you could be from the Jennings and be from those areas up north. It's all right for you to come to LSU because why? It's still your state school too.
For sure. For sure.
Do you feel like you helped kind of instill that foundation of LSU and the legacy, of course, with the DBU aspect, but in that aspect as well, because that's some of the early moments that are really pivotal in the school's history.
Yeah, LSU always had a tradition of playing really good football. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they had that little down era. You know what I'm saying? That down era, and I was, because like that toward the end when I was, and what it was is the lack. It never was a lack of skill guys. It was a lack of the front guys. If people be out of the trenches. It had a lot of, also too, is a lot of guys that left the state that were trench guys too. That, you know what I'm saying, or the guy that was an athlete, but he wasn't really developed. But then now you can develop that great player. That's what Nick them did.
Do you think, thinking back on your days, like going into the league as a free agent, do you think that's what propelled you to play 6 years in the league, just like having that chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, it had that chip on the shoulder, and then being mad, be like, man, this dude not better than me.
Right.
Where these people come from? How I played at LSU, I played in the SEC. How they say, and it is what it is. I mean, it propelled me. It made me stronger. It made me go out there and work hard, and just be at that chip on my shoulder.
Did you? Going into the draft, did you expect to get drafted, or you confident?
Yeah, I'm like, they got 12 rounds. I know I'm better than most of these cats around here.
Did you have a draft party?
No, I ain't do none of that. No, I ain't had none of that. No, we ain't do none of that and stuff like that. So, I mean, that was, it was a low point, but it was I just need a shot, bro. Once I get in, I know what I'm going to do. And, just being from where I'm from New Iberia, you know what I'm saying?
Trenches,
I'm built different. And, I'm going to work, and that's what propelled me,
Gotcha.
What was that transition like from SEC football to now you're in the NFL?
Well, at that time, it was crazy, going into, I guess the first thing I did when I went up there, I didn't really talk to people because I already had, because I was already, I was going to study, get in my book, just know the defense. I thought I was pretty much, because I played different positions here, so I understood everything on the back end. So it was never like anything I didn't understand. So the craziest thing is that even the vets, guys were going to hang out. I didn't even hang out with them, because it was Pepper Johnson. You had Lawrence Taylor. You had Carl Banks on the team. You had Phil Simms. You had Otis Anderson. You had all those guys was on the Giants at that time. And I had a guy that played with me here. Greg Jackson was on the team. Me and Greg played together here. You know what I'm saying? So, it was people I know, but I really didn't really, when you have that chip on your shoulder and you got that fire burning in you, it's a little bit of I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So bubble. And it's so crazy. As soon as I made the team, like the one dude that came and always took me under was Pepper Johnson, because he saw how I moved.
The linebacker.
Yep. And ever since then, we still friends today. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, it was cool. He even threw me a birthday party with my birthday party.
Come on.
Because he saw how I moved. I wasn't
about your business.
I was about my business. And he had been in the league a little while. And he understand all that party and stuff. They won Super Bowls. He was about his business. And I came in there trying to not say be a vet, but I was at that point of that's how I was gonna go about it. You know what I'm saying? And didn't even understand I was being a vet.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
So it never was the fact that I was being that.
Right. Now you stopped playing in '99, and then you took 2 years off, and then you started coaching high school.
Yeah,
right?
I took 2 years off to see if I wanted to.
Yeah.
If I took 2 years off, to say, man, I'm tired of it. I retired, and I probably could have still played, and I just didn't. I was like, because I got kind of burnt out of it, burnt out on you can get burnt out on
the process.
The process was burning. It burned me out because I just, but it was a little bit more ego than anything because of just at the time, you start making a certain amount of money. You like, man, I bunked that, bro. I'm worth more than that. When you should just still play for the love of the game.
Right.
Now it goes to NIL. It's about how much you love this stuff. It ain't about the money because money is gonna always be there. You can make more money when you're happy.
For sure. So that 2 years you took off before you got into high school coaching.
I started playing golf every day. I was playing golf all the time. I was with Johnny Hector, a bunch of guys I knew that I was going to play golf, trying to just hustle play golf every day.
What was the handicap?
I ain't get that good. I ain't get that good. But I was just going. We was finding places to go play, and I was all right. You know what I'm saying? I was getting better. You know what I'm saying? I was getting better, but I wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know this. Being a player, do you think those experiences, those lessons helped you become a successful coach?
Yeah, I think that has helped me a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It makes me sit back and listen to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches that's coaching today and be like, football hasn't changed. It doesn't change. You still do some of the same stuff that you've done. It's just newer ounces, something newer to it. That's all it is. Nothing has changed.
How do you evolve with that? Like, if the nuances change a little bit, but your process for the most part?
You always want to put in yourself that what would make me better if I was still playing. You got to look at it like that always. Look at what would make you better if you did this when you were playing. Always put yourself in that position of what you were taught. Okay, what if you do this now? How would that make you better? Because you still got your base of stuff, but what would make you better than what you were before?
During those 2 years, when did you know, all right, yeah, I'm ready to go out there and coach?
Because I was doing my camp, and I just felt like, let me see if I want to do this. That I got that burn back for the game. Mm-hmm. So I got lost the burn for the game, then got the burn back. So I said, I'm not going back and play. Because I could have went play in Canada, could have went try it again, but I was like, man, I'm cool. So got into coaching. I went into coaching. I went coach high school. I went to Nish for a year. Then I went there for a year. Then I went to Westgate. I became the D coordinator. And also, when I was there, I was the D coordinator plus I was the strength coach. And I was the D-line coach.
Man.
Coach D-line?
Yeah, yup.
You a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I went to coach D-line. That when I was D coordinator, I coached the D-line. Because Ryan Antoine was there. He was the secondary coach.
Right. Damn, Ryan. He was playing.
Nuh-uh. Ryan was coaching too.
Ryan been coaching that long?
Yeah, he was with me at Westgate.
That's 2002?
Yeah, Ryan was there, yeah. He had just ain't too long.
Man, I ain't know Ryan been coaching that long?
Yeah, Ryan came in. Ryan was with us.
Okay. So, you was at Nish for a year, then you went to Westgate, then you came intern at LSU.
Yeah, came.
How did that go about?
Well, what I'm saying, I was just seeing, now that I was there, and it started feeling, I need more.
You wanted to be challenged.
Yeah, challenged. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So what he did was, it helped, what Nick them were doing at that time before they kind of built it that way where you would put guys that were really coaches in the weight room. So that's when you get
cheat code.
You got the guys. Just look at the guys that came through. You got Carl Dunbar, you got Bo Davis, myself. You know what I'm saying? So it was two other guys. They was there. So that kind of propelled us into being in the weight room. But also, you really were coaching because you would take the guys and go do fundamentals right after they work out. You would be in the weight room with them and then take them out there, work on fundamentals.
So back then they called it an intern.
Yeah.
So an intern don't get paid.
No, I wasn't making no money. I wasn't making no money. I tell everybody, if you really want to know what I was making here, $12,000 a year. But I was blessed. I didn't have to really. It wasn't burden because I was blessed. You know what I'm saying? So
you had made money in the league.
Yeah. I was because I got traded to Detroit, then I wound up doing well. They gave me a big. It was cool. It was good at that time. It was
that was some good money back then.
That was good. Yeah,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? One of the highest paid guys at Detroit at that time. So then that at that time, but was able to save a little bit and stuff like that. So it wasn't as stressful, but it was easy to come and do that. Because also when I was at I was substitute teacher at the Westgate too. At the gate. I was substitute, so I could be in around the guys all the time.
Hold them accountable.
Even if something was going on with the teacher, I could pop in and be like, yo, what's up? Or, just so they know, hey, man, because I always feel like this. They got to know that you care about them. If you want them to run through a wall for you, you got to know that you care about them no matter what. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I come from that part of it, like when it was a little different for me with the coaches and stuff like that, where, they was just coaches. You know what I'm saying? It was just coaches. And, but every coach is how you raise. How you raise as a coach is how you are.
That's definitely true. Did you have aspirations when you came in as an intern? Did you have aspirations to say to yourself, man, I won't do this full time. I want to be the DB coach at LSU one day or take this to a higher level?
I wanted to take it to a level. I ain't say I was going to be here at LSU, but I was like, okay, I want to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity to come, just get in the building right then and that. Now I just take it from there and wind up, working out that way. Because real talk, because I was there, and because Coach Doug Mallory was the DB coach. But the thing is that, man, he was like, Corey, you take those guys, man. Like, you coach them guys. You coach him and Bo Pelini, you know what I'm saying? They were like, you coach those guys and stuff like that. So it was really coaching, because when you was an intern, you would work the weight room all summer. Then once the summer was over, you were straight up here for football. So you never had no time off. So when the coaches took a break and the weight room guys took a break, the intern guy never took a break.
Gotcha.
What was the story through your early time here at LSU where you can reflect on and be like, yeah, that moment made me?
I mean, just the development of guys. I started sitting there, because at the first it was Chavez Jackson and Jonathan Zenon. LaRon was here. Craig Stelz was here. All those guys was here at that time. So, so it was just, I would have those guys, you know what I'm saying? And some, just, off of what Coach Mallory was saying, then he would be like, man, whatever you think. And so I was, just going from the things that I've been taught, from the guys I've been around, and always going to be about fundamentals and eyes. You know what I'm saying? So that was the biggest thing.
Who was your biggest teacher, man? I always hear you talking about the fundamentals, man, having good eye discipline, your feet, things of that nature. Where do you get that thought process?
Well, the guys I played with a guy named Mark Collins and Everson Walls. So those guys was kind of like, they was always about their fundamentals. And a guy named Renee Thompson, he was one of the best special teams guys. And he was, it was, them guys were all about the sitting there doing extra after practice, working on little things. And, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of like, plus at that time, I'm trying to I'm trying to get after it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it. So those things have kind of propelled me to how I am today.
I want to know this in terms of coaching and like developing talent. How do you help light that fire in a person that you see in them? Sometimes when somebody has a high potential or a big upside, they don't see it.
Sometimes they don't see it, so you gotta. It's a process, because every guy don't see it, and some do, some don't. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta. It's a war within the war every day. Because why? Because sometimes those people, they're up and down people too. Because they have so much talent, so it might be a time they want to work, and sometimes it's a time they don't want to work because it's natural skills, and they just be like. But it doesn't help you to when you get ready to go against a guy that's the same as you. Now, what are you going to do? Or maybe that guy's working harder than you, because the guy that might be, if everybody on the same page, same athleticism, is all who got the best fundamentals. And even in the NFL, like people say, it's only everybody in the NFL is the same. It's who worked the hardest. It's only a few guys that just can walk out there and just be up, and you can count them on the hand. Everybody has to work. So for me, it was easy for me, because I was like, everybody I just saw, because I'm coming from there, they had to work. Even the most talented guys was working. So you tell them you want to go on, you want to play on Sundays, and you don't want to work, that ain't gonna happen. You just respecting the game. You just respecting the position.
For sure.
And I'm like this. If you take that serious. If you play this position, you got to take it serious.
I know as the DB coach at LSU, and even before you was at LSU, when you was at Utah State, Nebraska, or wherever, you always got those people that maybe from your area or friends that you knew over the years sending you corners and DBs, man. Check him out, cool. Check him out, see Ray. He could play. Man, I'm telling you, man, he like that. Blah blah blah. Whoop de whoop de whoop. I always observed you when y'all have y'all camps here. You always stand in the back of the end zone. Got your hat on, you chilling, you watching, you observing, you writing notes. What do you look for when you are identifying and trying to figure out if a DB is good enough to play?
My first thing I do is I'm going to ask, is he a multiple sport guy? Does he run track? Does he play baseball? Does he play basketball? What is he doing? That's my biggest things right there because, you know, it's an athletic game too. Okay, but if he's doing multiple sports, he has to process a lot of different things.
For sure.
And so if he's processing a lot of different things, now he can understand how to go process stuff in football and stuff like that. If he's baseball, you got to have a good hand-and-eye coordination. Got to be able to track a ball. If he have basketball, you got to be able to drive athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Dribble and stuff like that. You know, track guy, you got to feet, lateral quickness. Track guy, you got to, you know, I'm not saying, this is the misconception people say, you don't have to be a track star. You just got to run.
There you go.
So that's the misconception people have when I say, man, why you not running track? Well, I'm not trying to run, because those guys, they too fat. Nah, I just want you to run. We're not going out there to run. You ain't running against guys that are running 10 flat out there on the field. You're not running those. It's very, you can count them on one hand. That's that fast. And then if they're that fast, it's they have a deficiency. So that's my thing. I look for those things, but I look for also guys because when you play different sports, you're competitive. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be the loudest guy. You just got to be the most quiet killer. I'm more of a quiet killer guy. You know what I'm saying? The most loudest, you know, the most loudest is the weakest dude. He got to make himself be that way. When he's doing that, he got to push that to himself. That's not him every day. He got to become a different person. I want a person that want to be like that every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the person you really scared of.
For sure.
Because you know it's that dog that bark. But if that dog that's sitting right there ain't doing much, but if you come across that fence, he come at you. That's the one you got to be scared
of. And they're the ones that's hard to figure out.
Exactly. I don't know if I hop on him and try to jump on that fence. I don't know if he going to get me. That's dog barking, but he running. If I step more, he barking, but he running. That's because I'm barking back. I'm going at him. So that's the difference. So I look for those little things. I look for that, you know, and then I like to say the ball skills. Look for ball skills. Look for, not saying necessarily, I look for the athleticism because I feel like we can teach you what we want to teach you here. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes guys can go to training and just be polished. They come out here real polished, which is good, which is great. I'm not saying it. Then I'm looking at that guy. When is he good when it breaks down?
Scramble drill.
Yeah, when he got to run. When the polished guy got to be able to run. That's what you got to understand.
Backyard football.
When it becomes that way.
Yep.
And all of that guy got to step on him. What's his fight? Can he run and catch it? Because at the end of the day, no matter what, if you play defensive back, you're going to have to run. I tell everybody, you're going to have to run.
For sure.
And that's what you're going to be measured. Can you run and how fast you can get out your break? Those are the things that they measure you. That's what the NFL measure you. And then your ball skills.
Now, you have a history of recruiting guys with a lot of length. What would you say to a kid that might not have the length of a DJ Pickett or Patrick Peterson or guys of that nature?
Well, you got Dante Jackson. Everybody forget Dante, Tre'Davious. You know what I'm saying? But this what the thing was. You got your Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu. Even though I was gone, and then when Tyrann came, when he had got suspended the time I got back. But people, and for those guys, people don't understand, and everybody always say, I got the next Tyrann Mathieu, and I hate when people say that. It turns me off because they don't know how much of a great athlete he is. That's the problem right there. Even though not only a great football player, but a great athlete. People don't understand the athleticism. People don't understand, look at his body, look how long his arms is. So you can't say because you see him at his height, but you're not looking at all his length. He has length. People don't understand that. So you see how the breakdown is. I'm looking at, not because you can be a certain size, it's your length. Because, you know what I'm saying, if you have long arms for a shorter guy, that means you're going to get to the ball. That means you can make a tackle. Because you got arms. When you got shorter arms, it's hard to make that tackle, wrap a guy.
For sure.
After you go through that identification process, how do you then assess, like, okay, this guy's ready for the field? Like a Derek Stingley, for instance, who was ready freshman year and was an absolute unit.
Sting been around for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He been around this building for a minute.
Coming around here since he was 7th grade.
And then, you know, his dad was a coach. So he had been ready. You know what I'm saying? We just had to get him in the building when he was ready, you know, because he was working. You know what I'm saying? Since then, and like I say, it just came natural to him because a lot of guys. Because Jay Mills came here and started as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? So you have Tre'Davious came here and play as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Then there might have been as much impact as Sting made an impact. But you know what I'm saying? But like those guys, we prepared them to get ready. Everything was a preparation. People don't understand. It's a lot of preparation you do outside of football to be ready for this thing.
Yeah.
And what does it feel like to be able to see them excel on Sundays in the NFL? Like, what does that feel like inside for you?
Nah, it's good, man. Like you said, when we get in that room, we talk about, those things about being good people, being good men. And, that like if you have those traits, you're going to take those traits to the football field. Talk about that a lot more than anything. And, it's good to see them boys. It's helping them change their lives, but also I want those guys also to get degrees and also changing their family history.
For sure. I think one of the biggest reasons why receivers that come out of here be so damn good and why DBs that come out of here that be so damn good is because they get to see each other in practice every day.
Yes, competition.
Talk about that competition
every day.
The receivers and the
that
DBs
competition
at LSU.
goes back for when I first got back here. Now, you had Dwayne Bowe, you had Early Doucet, you had Brandon LaFell, you had Demetrius Byrd. Now, you had some – it started from that trend, you know what I'm saying, with the competitors of receivers. They don't talk about them guys as much, you know what I'm saying? But those guys, those two first-rounders. There was 2 first-rounder guys, you know what I'm saying, with Jamarcus, and you ever notice, and I always say this, when LSU has a great quarterback, they have great receivers.
You can't be out there throwing a little Johnny, a little Tommy.
No, you
can't. And think you about to go first round.
No.
You need some guys.
You need guys. You're always going to need guys. I mean, that's just what it is. And then, like I said, if they got guys over there, we better have guys that can cover them every day at practice. So at the end of the day, you better recruit some guys to cover at practice. If you got some guys that can't cover them guys at practice, then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to match the intensity of the guy, you know what I'm saying, that being recruited here from an offensive standpoint, a receiver, and also you got to recruit guys as defense to cover those guys.
Yeah, for sure. Christian Fulton would always say, man, if I could cover these dudes at practice, Saturdays, I'm good. Because ain't too many of y'all going against on Saturday. Won't be just as good as these guys in this room.
You'll meet guys, they might be, and it's so, and I'll say it's not that they're not good guys. It's just that they might not be first or second rounders.
Right.
They could be a 4th or 5th rounder.
They draftable guys. Yeah, for sure.
But you going against that guy every day at practice. And sometimes, and like it is, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just who got to burn that day. But now it makes you have to come in that day because once the one-on-ones come, you better be ready to go.
For sure. Stingley and Jamar Chase, every year, I don't know who be popping it off first, but they go to post and the one-on-ones from when they was in.
It's crazy.
But I'll be like, bro, these dudes petty.
Yeah, no doubt.
But there used to be some battles.
The battles, man. Battles, like they would battle. And, you know what I'm saying? It was all good battle and respect each other.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was a good thing. It wasn't a slamming the balls. When I got back here, it was a little different. I was like, it was a little different for me.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I just, those guys would go against each other, but they would respect each other.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So it was an amber of a respect to each other. You know what I'm saying? You want to play with intensity. It's the intensity you play, but it's the intensity you play toward a line. You respect your teammates.
For sure.
As the recruiting landscapes kind of change, me and G have talked about it, and like sometimes you worry, it's going away from relationships or connections or things like that. How have you managed that? I've
been, so crazy. It's just been a blessing for me because why? The first time I ever got to going out and recruit, when I went to Utah State, they dropped me in Florida. But I already knew Louisiana because I'm from here because all the coaches was coming out. I was working. So I always had Louisiana, Texas ties. So my ties went all the way to Florida because that was just from being at Utah State, that's where they dropped me at. And from there,
you learned everything about Florida.
Learned everything about being down there south. But I went down there in 2009. So I've been doing that since 2009. So sometimes most of the guys that are coaches now, I recruited them.
It's crazy. I still come back full circle.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been, it's been a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Been a blessing to be able to have those ties. You know what I'm saying? So, but maybe I might not answer your question the right way, but I was always, for me, for the recruiting was more the relationship. I was able to establish a lot of good relationships. And, I talk to everybody. If I don't think I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always going to talk to the person that can't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to talk to the person that can do something for you. It's the person that can't do something for you.
For sure.
You know, just talk to everybody. You know, everybody's somebody. So, and just being that way the whole time down there and meeting the people. And still doing that in Louisiana.
And you've had a lot of success with getting kids to come from out of the state. So, how have you been able to go and sell LSU to a kid that doesn't necessarily understand what Louisiana is all about?
I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of those kids, when I started recruiting, they said, "Yeah, I watched Tyrann Mathieu highlights." Straight up, I was like, "Okay." I mean, I've been watching LSU, so they've been watching LSU. Some of the guys, and are they watching? You know, Pat P set it off. You know what I'm saying? With being from Florida, because was involved in that recruiting too. It was good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So being in there, he would come work him out every day at the same time when he kind of on campus, working him out every day. He was grinding. He was a grinder. Him, with his dad, they were, he was a grinder. He would be in here every day. We'd be grinding every day. You know what I'm saying? Till it, when the change came and stuff happened, Shit, that was the first time I thought I was going to be like, well, shit, they're going to make me the.
Right.
Like, no, we ain't doing that. But it's all good. It'd be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, just and Brandon Taylor was here.
Mm-hmm.
B. Taylor was here. Ron Brooks was here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So most of those guys was here, with me at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, and like you said, move on, go to Utah State. But that process for getting kids and getting them to understand how important it is to play at LSU is a tradition that's had. Now, you still go back. They got great DBs that play here in the 2000s from Ryan Clark, those guys there, Corey Webster. Those kids look at those guys too. Denard Walker, people don't know. Torrey James, people don't talk about him. You know what I'm saying? He from the West Bank. He was, he was a really good player here. So, those guys, a lot of that started the early 2000s, then one toward the middle of the 2000s, that's when, you had Corey Webster them, and that's when Pat P them started kind of seeing LSU, and then he wound up coming to a game, because he'll tell you, like, once he came to that Auburn game, boom, that was a wrap right there. Got him to the Auburn game, that was his thing. Once he came and stuff like that, he put that 7 on, but really the reason why he started running 7, because really, I don't get into the 7, so the 7 go back to Trail Falk, to Ali Highsmith, to Pat P, then it went to the DBs, then it went to 7 Ward, and then it went to, it's a lot of different things, things. I know the history of it, how it all, but it's great players, regardless of whatever, great players that worn that jersey. But the action of the DB part is Pat P, once he started seeing it, then he started getting asked, then, everybody in the state, the kids that was in the state start seeing, shit, LSU, DBs be balling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
With that swag.
They got that swag. You saw LeBron, he punishing people. You saw, you know what I'm saying, Craig Stelzy picking balls off and stuff like that. So kids from the state start seeing guys really playing balling and stuff like starting to see Webb, them, Travis Daniels. But also, and I never shout out Travis Daniels. He's from Florida. So also that was one of Pat P things. TD, you know what I'm saying? So all those little things started adding up to why we started getting guys from different places. Nick them recruited because they had the ties there. Don't get me wrong, those kids came there because of Nick. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that, that they did a great job.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But then it started with the Pat. Then it started having them showstoppers. Like Pat P.
Box office.
Then you even had the Mo Claiborne. I always tell everybody, Mo is the most quiet person we don't talk about. Shout out to Mo Claiborne. You know what I'm saying? But that started adding up, you know what I'm saying, with the guys coming through. Pat P, Mo Claiborne, them boys went in the Thorpe. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's thing. Ron Coop was the coach, always respect that, you know what I'm saying? And it just started elevating. It started elevating from there. You know what I'm saying? You
got 2 guys in your room, and I'm sure it's more, but it's the 2 I'm thinking off my head. Michael Turner and DJ Pickett played receiver in high school. What goes into a coach's mind or a DB coach's mind when they see a kid playing receiver in high school and say, even though I know he could probably come play receiver in college and be good, I think his money is at DB?
Fact, because he had ball skills, and they both different. If you come on defense, but you become somebody different. You become what everybody don't have. A guy with ball skills with speed. and now you know how to change direction. So you become different.
So when you watching tape, you see a guy playing receiver,
and I'm looking at it. Okay, will he be a good receiver? Yes, he'll be a good receiver. Could he be a great DB? But they're also playing a little bit of defense.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just not playing. So I see that. You see the defensive part of him be like, oh, okay, he got a chance to be really good. Don't get me wrong, he's really good at receiver. I'm not saying he can't be that guy receiver. But if he comes to play defense, now he becomes a difference maker, because when the ball in the air, he can go get it. You know what I'm saying? That's they ball skills. Ball skills is everything.
For sure.
Is that the biggest key to being a great DB at the college level, you think?
Well, you want to have ball skills. Everybody you recruit, you want them to have ball skills, because why? It's still about taking the ball away.
Right.
A turnover is everything. Change the game. An interception can change a game.
You, I know with the landscape of how this generation is, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
They different.
These kids are super different than, in the early 2000s and things of that nature, when you talk about their mental capacity and how they go about their business. How have you been able to try to pour into this generation of kids and get them to understand? I'm not talking about football right now. I'm talking about as a man on understand on how to conduct themselves. Yeah,
that's one of the things, is just coming to them and being honest with them and telling them the truth. I'm not here because I don't like you. I'm here because I care about who you are as a person. That's one of the biggest things. I think this generation got to know that you care about them.
Right.
They don't feel like you care about them, it's going to be hard. You got to feel like they got to know that you care about them. They got to know that you're willing to, sometimes they're at fault. And it's a why generation. This is a why generation. Why? This is the reason why. Okay. But the thing is about this generation is, when you ask them why, they don't know. They don't know. But this is why. They want to know why. But that's just what it is. It's just that's the way it is. And I'm saying for this generation, it's just you got to pour into who they are as people. Try to figure out, okay, what are the things that can help them overcome certain things, because in life, they go through a lot. Yeah. And I didn't have social media.
Right.
Thank goodness. Didn't have social media.
Right. Right.
And you got to understand, social media could be telling you the greatest thing ever, and social media could tell you the worst person ever.
It's up and down.
It's up and down.
Up here one day, down here the next.
That's why I tell guys, it's like playing DB. You could stop a guy all game. That one last play and they catch the ball, the crowd gonna be booing you like
be all on ESPN.
Gonna be worried about it.
You're gonna see the replay on ESPN for the next 3 days.
Like all the other plays you didn't stop, it's gonna be like that one play.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's up and down. It's up and down. It's how can you withstand it? And like I say, for this generation, to just talking to them, talk about you care about them, and showing them the right way, and saying, man, I'm not here to down you. I'm here to help you. I'm always here to help you. I'm not here to. And sometimes you gotta let them fall a little bit, but you gotta pick them back up.
Yep.
Gotta let them fall, pick them back up, and just show them, okay, this is why you failed. You wanna know why? This is your why.
Yep.
I want to add to that. You were talking earlier on about how a coach has to relate to their players. One, how do you relate to your guys? And then two, in this era where you got people getting added to the room or going out of a room, how do you keep that connection with your position group?
Well, I've always, the good thing about us being in a room, first thing I do is I'll show the wall. You see all them guys up there? That's the standard.
Speaks for itself.
And the standard ain't never going to change around here. I don't know what everybody else talking about. Well, I only know what the standard that I know when I was here, what standard we had. And that's the standard that was here, and that's the standard that we going to continue to have as long as I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the standard of, playing defensive back at LSU. And I think that helps a whole lot to see, and it's not like somebody telling them this. Because this generation, you got to see.
Yeah.
They got to see. Yeah. So all they can get, I got to show you.
Yeah.
And if anybody new come in the room, I got to show you this is our tradition. This is how we work. We not bending for you. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened and where you come from, where everybody, this is what we do. This is how we have gotten better. This is the tradition that we built here. You know what I'm saying? From all the guys that then came through here. You know what I'm saying? You can't let that falter. You know what I'm saying? So that's been a tradition of LSU defensive backs.
What went into that decision to come back to LSU, to reinstall that standard?
Well, at the end of the day, things happen at Florida. Good, but, did a good internship. You know what I'm saying? So things happen.
Right.
You know, not a shot, but it was a good place. It was a good place. You know what I'm saying? Good things. And that was in State for people make changes. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, coming back here, you know, I mean, we know how everybody know what's up.
You ain't gotta pat yourself on the back.
I don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
We was always good. You know what I'm saying? We was good before. Even throughout the turmoils, you still see the back end play good.
What did it feel like to, you know, see everybody's reaction, all the outpouring of love and support when you come back? What was that like?
Yeah, it was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It was good that, it felt good to come back home, you know. It felt good. Felt good to come back home. I'll tell you this, too. When I was in Nebraska, I wasn't going to come back to LSU.
Why not? That's what you was with Pelini?
I was with Pelini because I felt comfortable because LSU didn't give me the job the first time. But you know who called and told me I was coming back to LSU? My mama. She made that same decision
For the
second time. She was like, "Oh yeah, you going back."
Can't say no to mama.
Yeah. Now this time I was gonna come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because I got grandkids now, so it was good. I got my house here, so it was good. And plus, you know, just the tradition of, you know, just us. And me putting my alumni hat on.
Yeah.
You got to bring. I'm wearing two hats. I wear coach's hat and I wear my alumni hat.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? My alumni hat was like, you know, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But, you know, that's why we're here to help that tradition get, you know, the guys, everybody work hard here. So that's the great thing about it. And to get that tradition, keep it going.
Yeah, yeah. Man, C-Ray, what would you say is your biggest turning point in your life that propelled you to be in the position that you are right now, where, and I know you don't want to pat yourself on the back, but a lot of people, not even in the state of Louisiana, but outside of the state, that look at you as the pioneer when you talk about developing DBs?
Man, it's just where I came from, just my upbringing to like my journey, the journey from when we talk about from the baseball to, you know, football to being a free agent, playing multiple positions, you know, being a free agent, all those things kind of, you know, married together for me in my journey to become the guy that I am in coaching. You know what I'm saying? Still having, you know, like have to work harder than everybody. Still have to work. Like people don't know. People think that I just came here. People don't know I was an internship. I coached high school football. You know what I'm saying? I was out there painting the field when you had to paint the field. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there doing that. I'm gonna go and pick kids up. So that's why recruiting was kind of easy, being a people person, because I was going to somebody, knock on the door, boom, why you son ain't coming to practice? Or, oh, just come get him, baby. Yeah, boom, boom, your mama told me to come get you.
Yeah.
Or talking to parents, you know. So that was I guess all those things built me to be the way I am.
You were talking about being connected to family and motivated by family. How do you balance that with this job? Because it's so hands-on deck.
It's hands-on. You know, my kids help me. My sons are coaches. So, and I got grandkids, and they're very supportive. My mom and dad, the people that's in my life, they're very supportive of what I do. At first, they didn't understand it.
Some never do understand.
They didn't understand it at first, you know. I'll say my sons, they didn't understand until they start coaching, or till they got older to understand the reason why I do this. You know, I love my children. I love them to death. You know, I love my grandchildren, my parents, everybody that's in my circle of people I love, you know. But, you know, I love my players too. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
extended family.
Yeah, my extended family. I you know, same way. You know, I just care for them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, care who they are as people, who they are as men. You know what I'm saying? What they becoming in life and stuff like that. And not afraid to still call and get on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell them, I'm never gonna be a yes man to you.
Right.
Never gonna be a yes man.
Not in this spot.
No, never gonna be a yes man. I'm gonna be somebody gonna tell you right or wrong, but still be in your corner and be like I always tell everybody. I tell my players, you know, like I never try to lie to you. Look, I'm not gonna do a recruit. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I'm in this building, I'm gonna give you the truth.
What advice would you have for a young up and coming coach that might be coaching in high school, that has aspirations, man, to get into college? You know, what kind of nuggets, what kind of gems would you give them?
Just, you know what I'm saying, make those connections. Because I would, even when I was in high school, I was going to the coach's clinic. Going to coach's clinic, you know, just meet people, you know, just, you know, talking to people, trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? It just happened to be here and stuff like that. And just keep getting out, just keep talking to people. You just never know who's going to help you. That one person you might not never expect that's going to help you. That's the thing of it. Just keep talking to people. Just keep those relationships, because you never know when it's going to come full circle.
Right.
You know, like I said, I might not can help you on the first run.
Yep.
But I always tell everybody, look here, if I can't help you, if you call somebody and they say, I'll vouch for you. If I know you, I'll call for you. Tell them to call me. But I'm always going to say that. If I feel like you are a good person, I'm going to know first if you're a good person. If I can't help you, call you got somebody you talking to, tell them to call me. I'll vouch for you. For sure.
Because I have a lot of dudes that's coaching in high school that's young. You know, they always say, man, gee, I want to get into college. I want to get into college. I want to get into college. Man, I don't know the first step to take. And I kind of told them something similar to what you said. But I think also, too, was a big part of it, C-Ray, and you could agree with me or disagree with me. I think a big part of it, too, is when coaches come to spring practices and they could see them in the fire and see them how they coach their guys and see how guys respond to them.
Yes,
and,
no doubt.
And see how passionate they are about this game.
About the game, you know what I'm saying? And you have to be patient. That's the biggest thing you got to be patient. It ain't going to happen just right then and there.
Right.
That's the thing about it. And I know a lot of times guys want it to happen right now. Man, and it got to happen, man. It got to happen. It's got to happen, man. I'm doing it. You just got to be patient, man. It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? This is not a sprint.
For sure.
It's a marathon.
When you coach for multiple programs and under multiple coordinators, how do you kind of adjust with the scheme?
Yeah, that's interesting because, like I said, I done had about 10, even just being at LSU, and I had about 6 or 7 different coordinators.
That's a task.
You know what I'm saying? It's terminology. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sees different. But at the end of the day, too, it still comes down to fundamentals. End of the day, no matter what, you got the greatest scheme. It still comes, and the coaches that are real good, and you know the guys that do well is the guys that preach the fundamentals, preach the little things, preach the what ifs, preach the understanding, seeing what happened. You know what I'm saying? Or teach it where you understand the concept of the defense, not memorizing the defense.
Yeah,
a lot of guys want to memorize the defense. It's understanding it through a structure, understanding it through, you know what I'm saying, how it connects, and that makes it easier for you. A lot of guys come in, man, I'm trying to memorize. And then now you're trying to memorize all this one thing at one time instead of understanding it in different, I always say, put it in different families. It's this family, it's that family, it's this family. It helps you a lot better instead of trying to marry it all at one time. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Throughout those stops, how do you think your coaching style has evolved, or has it? Like as a young coach compared to
I
now?
go out, this is the thing about it, man. I'm always going out and learn from other guys. I never stop. I go visit teams. I talk. I go out, see guys. I'm always doing that. Just like I always say, since I'm always making my own gumbo. Like I say, I just find different little things to put in to add to what we're doing to help us. So I'm into doing that. I'm always learning, always learning.
I like that.
How have you taught the game now versus how you did over a decade ago? Because these receivers, bro, they releases of getting different.
This is my whole biggest thing. I tell everybody it's like this. They all come from a tree. They all come from a tree from the 80s to the 90s. I understand, like everybody said, all the releases. But at the end of the day, the release got to get vertical. Everything is illusion. It's how you fall for the illusion. Everything is illusion. All, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling I'm getting into all the little details of all this. It's just you have to understand stuff. You just have to be ready to understand the illusion. It's all illusion. It's all
a setup.
It's all, everything is to create something to make you think and not what you see.
Because the advantage is going to the offense, bro.
Always.
They just came out with a new rule where you can't stem. Now you got a sub with pace now.
Yeah, no doubt. Exactly.
Like they trying to make sure the offense get all the advantage, bro.
And the way we practice it, we practicing like the NFL. We're not grabbing. We're not doing that. I've always. But see, I don't know no other way.
Right.
I don't know no other way. Even when I got here, I'm teaching them more like 5-yard rule. I'm teaching more not be so handsy. But that's what we teach here. That's been our development. That's always been my thing. We teach you how to play on Sunday. So when guys get there, they understand how to play the concept. They ain't going somewhere and don't know how to play it. But like saying, how the rules and how these guys are is it's different. You know what I'm saying? Because I was blessed. I played against Jerry, against Mike, against all those guys. But like saying though, like big guys now, but they're more shaky, more athletically. You know what I'm saying? Catch rate is something different. You know, guys always they got guys that have speed, but you got guys it's transitioning. They can accelerate, decelerate. It's so quick for big guys. Catch rate is box you out. And now, you know, you got to be able to understand those fundamentals, understand those angles, understand what is he trying to do, see what he's trying to do, not guess. A lot of times, guys guess. If you guess once or two, out of 10 times you guess 4 times right, you feel like you're 40%, but that's not good. You want to be on that. You got to understand not guessing, because that's what most receivers want you to do. What? Guess, so they can get in your head and they're gone.
Yeah.
My favorite drill that y'all do, I love the towel, both hands on the towel, moving with the feet. I've been watching that through camp. I'm like, man, that's I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it was just something, you know, so you can use your hands, work your feet, work it from a way so you can bring your feet with you. It's create balance. That's all, create balance. I always say, in football, if you have balance, you can redirect. If you don't have balance, you can't redirect.
Right.
Everybody, no matter what position you play, everything is about balance.
Yep, for sure.
Balance and eyes. If you have good eyes, you have great balance.
Now, you talk about building relationships and recruiting and how you learned that way back when you was in high school, you know, going knock on kids' doors and picking them up. With the transfer portal, bro, it's a short window to be able to build a relationship with a kid and know if this is somebody that should be a part of your program or even in your room. How have you evolved in that area?
A lot of times, sometimes it's transport. Now you begin, like you've recruited some of them guys already.
Yeah, right, true. You kind of know them already.
Kind of know about them already. A little bit of you offer them or you didn't offer them, and you kind of have an idea about who they are. Now kids change when they go to certain situations. They change, but that's you know, sometime in the transport you want to find guys that you have kind of maybe they didn't come here. Now they want to get in the portal, and you wanted them. You know what I'm saying? Like those little things, and then now you find some goods that are outliers that are just really good. That hey man, we need to go get this guy. And now it's just like hey, he's like a free agent going to another team. It's get him in. Let's go. We got to find out about him. Let's test him. Let's make sure he good, because at the end of the day, it became a business.
For sure.
But you still got to care about him so he can understand the business, because you don't know what atmosphere, what he's coming from.
Yeah, what
culture and stuff like that. And I always tell everybody, because most of the kids that come, anybody that's come here, they understand, they know the culture of what LSU has for DBs. So they understand that it's about your work ethic. Every guy that comes through here works hard. All the great DBs that have been here, you know what I'm saying? You know, with Ryan, and you know, I mentioned Ryan Clark. All those guys, they work hard, man. Everybody work hard here. Nothing's given to you around here. It's you got to come with that mentality to work, because all the guys that have come through here, they were all hard workers, and your best players were hard workers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's where the tradition comes. It never was where your best player wasn't a hard worker back in the secondary. Best player was a hard worker, from Tyron to Ryan. All those guys, all those guys worked really hard. So that's when you're getting a guy in, he has to buy in to the working part.
Right. I know you talked to a lot of NFL teams over the years where they trying to come and get your guy, because you had a number of first rounders, a number of guys that got drafted in the later rounds and things of that nature. What's a common question, or what's the common thing that NFL teams are trying to find out when they're trying to recruit guys that in your room?
Biggest thing is they'll ask what kind of person it is, character.
For sure.
Character is everything. Because if you got good character, that means you got good work ethic. Character is everything. And I tell those guys like that, they're only going to put up with you so much. You know what I'm saying? Until you can't do nothing for them. So your character is everything. Your character will help you stay longer. It come and ask about the character. Will he work hard? Is he a learner? You know what I'm saying? All those little things. And so now I'm just telling them guys, and that's what we trying to get them to understand. Hey man, this is what they're gonna ask. It's how you handle people in this building, man. Are you respectful? You know what I'm saying? People get tested. I'm not going. Man, listen. Me and some of the guys that got into it. I'm always
of
going to
course.
and I don't take it as a disrespect because I understand. I've been there. I understand, like in the heat of the battle, certain. But then after that, you calm it down. You get there. You talk like men. You know, and that's I learned how to speak to. That's no difference in the room. Everybody got to learn how to speak to each other. We teaching them that. We might have a conflict, but at the end of the day, we got to settle it and talk as men and move on and learn from it because we respect each other. It's about respecting each other as people.
It ain't what you say, it's how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I always tell every guy, you know, every leader, it's not about cursing the guy. You got to find out what's going on with him that day. Because you don't know what's going on with him that day.
We all dealing with something.
You know what I'm saying? It's not where he not wanting to work. It's something going on. Actually, when something else might be happening because he not moving and he not doing this. He got something on his mind. You got to go. That's what you got to find out first on a kid. Like, you know, and I always say, like, it's a thin line, aggressiveness on the football field and something going on with a person.
Yeah.
It's a thin line because you got to find out. You know what I'm saying? It's not he just being, that's just who he is. No, I ain't who he is no more. It's understanding what's going on, big dog. Talk to me. I'm here for you. Understanding those things.
You have a super, super talented room for this season. You know, when you just look at the landscape of guys that played a lot last year and the guys that y'all brought in from the portal, I think that this is probably the most depth y'all have had in Brian Kelly era.
Yes.
Talk to me about how excited you are about your room.
Yeah, very
and
excited.
this upcoming season.
Very excited about the room. Guys that are working hard, like I told everybody gonna eat. That's always been the motto. Everybody gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna eat, B, if people know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Paid in full. Yeah. So that's been the motto. If you work hard, you gonna play. If you work hard, you gonna play. You know what I'm saying? We got enough guys here, and then guys now are, you know, hey man, we want everybody to win in the room. I'm more about teaching. I want everybody to be like, man, I want my brother to make it, just like I made it. Because I want him to make it. And if I'm on the field, he got to play. If whoever's on the field got to play like they're number one guy. Because if not, everybody gonna get on them. If you go in the game, you're gonna play. But that's why we have that depth. That's what
Competitive depth.
Competitive depth. You know what I'm saying? It's you against you. I make it, man, and my thing is competitive depth, but it's also you against you. Because that person that walk out there, that's the person that you got to compete with.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you can compete with that receiver, but at the end of the day, it's what your mindset. Or you're a competitive. You're going to be like, no, I ain't worried about that. I know what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about what him going to do. I know I'm good with who I am. I'm good at my technique. I'm good at what I'm doing. Man, bunk that dude. He ain't better than me. I'm about to put it on him.
Are there any challenges that come with having a room like that? Because of course you got the depth, but then in turn you also have the decisions, and you also have more names, and like is that kind of a challenge?
We've had that before. You know, so when we had like 6 guys that get drafted,
Right?
It's never been nothing different around here. It's always been the fact that, like I was just talking about, everybody want everybody to win. You know what I'm saying? The NFL gonna come get you because they know you're talented. It ain't gonna be where you got to play these amount of plays and stuff like that. Because we didn't have that where we had guys get drafted that didn't play as much, got drafted in the second round. You know what I'm saying? They might have played 20 plays.
Yep.
But it's the talent. Because you have so much talent and stuff like that. And I understand people try to be like, well, you need to play. No. The plays you in the game, as long as you play like you're supposed to play, that's what the NFL scouts come in and watch.
Yep.
They come and watch how many plays you play, and they watch it, and also you being on special teams.
Just gotta trust the process.
And trust it, you gonna win.
And also, I think too, man, scouts stay at y'all practices.
Yes, and they watch you at practice.
They watch you at practice.
That's the thing about it. They watch you at practice. They see your skill set.
Yeah.
They're going to go back, man. I saw this guy, man. He playing, and they'll come and say, Corey, because we got this guy, because I know you got this guy, you got that guy. Man, them guys are good, man. Let's them keep, and it's taking care of their bodies. It's hard to play like 60 plays a game, like out there on this. Nah, man, you got to take a break, and especially playing this. You know, we playing a lot of man coverage. You running a lot, and it's good to have a little break out there, and then have a guy coming there and don't lose a step.
Right. Right. That's funny you say that, boy. Y'all ran more cover 2 last year than I know you probably wanted to.
You know, we getting better. We getting better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Before we let you get out of here, man, we're gonna end the podcast, man, with C. Ray's favorites, man. Here we go.
That's because I can't. That's a hard one because why? Because it's like your kids. You tell one kid, I'm gonna get a bunch of phone calls and be like, "What you talking about?" Everybody.
I ain't gonna put you in the pickle.
Everybody's great. They're all great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They all got categories. I always say like this. I'm gonna tell everybody like this. There's a DB and there's corners and there's safety.
For sure.
The best DB that ever played, best, and I'm gonna say it like this: best defensive player to play at LSU, Tyrann Mathieu. Boom. Best ever.
Gotcha.
And it's none like him. It's stuff like that. None like him. That's my thing.
Give me your favorite football player of all time, like growing up.
My favorite football player, who I watch. You know what's so crazy? My mom was a Raiders fan, so I watched Lester Hayes.
Raiders fan?
Yeah.
For real?
My mom was a Raiders fan because my uncle lived in Oakland.
Okay.
And that's where she moved to Oakland, and she became a Raiders fan.
Gotcha. And
I was a Raiders
who it
fan.
was?
Lester Hayes.
Lester Hayes. Okay. What Lester Hayes played?
Corner.
I be on I'm a football historian. I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
Lester Hayes. I'm about to go look him up.
Look up Lester Hayes.
What year this was?
Ooh, that's in the early 80s, 70s. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was born in 84. So.
Yeah, Lester Hayes playing bump and run.
But back then?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, the Raiders. That's where it all kind of started from.
All right.
Yeah, Lester Hayes, man. That's Lester Hayes. Kenny Easley was safety that I like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know Ronnie Lott because, I was playing with Ronnie Lott. Prime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's, Prime is the best.
Green.
Yeah, Darryl Green, all those guys and stuff like
Terrell
that.
Buckley and all them boys.
Me and T-Buck, them the same age.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I'll go back with Lester Hayes. People,
Gotcha.
And I was able to meet Night Train Lane. He was like, I watched him on some footage. He was like big corner that could run and strike people.
What?
Yeah.
Favorite movie of all time?
Ooh. Gotta go back. So, I'm a little older, so, I'm famous through the 70s.
I'm a movie head, so I'm waiting to hit it.
70s, 80s, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite movies I went to see was, when I was young, Breaking.
Breaking?
Yeah.
Who in it?
When it was, like you say, breakdancing and all that stuff, that was the movie, Breakdancing. That was a big movie back in the day. Everybody went to see that.
I never heard of Breaking.
Yeah, go look it up.
I'm about to check that out. What year that came out?
Ooh, that might be the same year by the time, maybe 83, 84.
Oh, yeah, see, I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? So
but I like old movies, so
Breaking was one. I mean, that was, you know what I'm saying? That was when when everybody was into all that stuff, like B Street.
Yeah. That was a thing back in the day.
Back in the day,
For
B
sure.
Street, Breaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, like Friday the 13th came out. You know what I'm saying? That was scary movies and stuff like that. But yeah, Breaking was one of my movies because I remember going to the movies and seeing everybody. Dudes getting on stage breakdancing because they saw that and stuff like that. That's a classic. That's a classic. That's a classic.
Childhood memory.
Remember that.
Favorite sneaker all time growing up?
I guess it's gonna be Jordan because Jordan became big, and now I'm a shoe head. I never was a shoe head before. Now I got tons of sneakers and shoes.
What number you like for the Jordans?
I'm not a number guy. I'm more all the low court. I'm more of the dunks. I'm more of a dunk guy.
Dunk.
I'm a dunk guy. I'm more of the dunk guy. You see, even right now.
You know
what I'm saying? I'm more into that. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end, the Converse was nice. You know, man?
Back then,
You know what I'm saying? Reeboks. People don't understand. I got them Reeboks on. You know what I'm saying?
I used to wear Reeboks when I was in elementary school.
So with
the color tip on front.
And then even put your baddies on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Song, put your baddies on. You got to understand, I go back TT Tucker. I'm and you know what I'm saying? I still, because I was in college when all that started going and stuff like that. So
favorite place to eat?
Ooh. Where to eat at? I'm always gonna say my grandmother's house. That was my grandmother when she was living. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it was always maybe because she was always cooking. Both of my grandmothers always cooking gumbo, red beans and rice.
For sure.
Lima beans, pork and beans. I grew up that way. But like favorite restaurant.
They got a place in New Iberia. Tucci told me about. I can't remember the name.
Like now I go to Pat's. Right off the Pat's is one of my spots.
That might be it.
Right off right there. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bridge, right there in Pat's, right by Cecilia.
Yeah.
Right off of that, Pat's is a really good place I go eat. They got serious seafood, seafood platter. Be eating that seafood salad.
It's seasoned right, huh?
Seasoned right, everything right.
Got the mustard in the fish.
Got everything. You know what I'm saying? It's cooked. Yes, cooked.
Okay.
Cooked real good. But yeah, you check Pat's out. Pat's is really good. Really
Gotcha.
Good. Some real good food.
Favorite place to visit?
Ooh. Talking about it. Talking about look,
it don't
states,
matter. It don't matter.
States, or you talking about out
It
of the country?
It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm out the country guy myself.
Yes.
You know, me and you talk about that before.
Portugal. I just went to Portugal.
Really?
For real?
It's nice.
You did tell me you went to Portugal. You did tell me that.
Portugal was nice.
What'd you do out there?
I went to this they call it Afro Nation. It was this, like you say, it's like the loud stuff they had with different artists. I got to see Burna Boy, see all those kind of artists, and Tim's and all that stuff. That was really.
Tim's was out there?
Yeah.
I thought she took a break.
She was there.
She back?
She back. Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Mary J. Blige was there.
Mary J. Blige was there? That's my baby right there.
Yeah, man. Yes. Got to see her. It was in the same hotel as Mary J.
Come on. You got to see her? Like, you got to see her walk out?
Yeah, see her in person.
She probably had boo-boo body going
around. I was trying to be around that. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my thing.
Yeah. How long that flight is?
That's the thing. It was 7-hour flight.
That's not bad.
Really?
I could do that.
8-hour flight. Yeah, that was it.
Straight?
Straight.
I could do that.
But I could go from here. We went from here to Newark. Then from Newark to Portugal.
So Newark, how far it is from here to Newark?
That was at 7 from where here. That's
Yeah.
that's a 2.5, 3 hour flight from New Orleans to there.
And then you flew
from Newark to Portugal.
Gotcha. I want to go to. I was supposed to go to Thailand for my birthday.
I heard Thailand is really good.
Yeah, I know your birthday in 4 days too. So happy
No,
birthday.
that's I'm gonna get it record straight. That is not. That is very wrong. My birthday is September 28th.
Man, I thought your birthday was on the 28th.
It's
September 28th.
It's September. Whoever put that in there.
Lord.
September. It's
And you know what? Tuja told me he told me that your birthday was on the 28th of July too.
Yeah, because everybody think my birthday in July. I don't know. It was whatever. I guess when I went to the Giants, I guess they put the wrong date. And so when you look at my, I guess Wikipedia, you see it in July. It's September 28th.
Because I did that change.
You gotta get that.
Because I
September
was talking to
28th.
Tuja, I said, man, C-Ray's birthday in a few days. He was like, yeah, it's on the 28th.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's September 28th. So all my life, I've always had football. Well, since I was 10 years old, started playing organized football. I've always had football in my life for all those years. Maybe the 2 years I didn't play, but everything I was always working on my birthday.
On your birthday.
Always working on my birthday. I never had a day off on my birthday.
Gotcha. Yeah, my birthday was on the 14th, and I was supposed to go to Thailand.
Yeah.
And we was planning this months ago with me and my partners. Man, once they found out how long that flight was, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of got discouraged too. 17 hours to China.
Yeah.
From and 6 hours from China to Thailand.
Yeah, I know.
That's 23 hours total.
You just gotta get that. Hey, I watch movies, sleep, move around.
Bro, that's a long time.
That's a long time. You just gotta move around, bro. You gotta be moving around. If you don't move around, it is not. You gotta be moving around.
Hit some high knees down the aisle.
I could do the 7 hours, though.
Yeah,
I could do that.
The Portugal is nice. And then the thing is, when you're in Spain, you're right there. You can bop.
Yeah.
To Morocco, you can go.
Yeah.
You're right there to Nigeria. You can go Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's you can go. You can get to a lot of different spots from right there.
Gotcha. Favorite coach of all time that made the most impact on you, no matter what level?
I say Coach Wallet, Bussy Wallet. You know, he came here for a year. Then he went to McNeese. Then he was my high school coach.
Okay.
Coach Wallet. He passed away, but that was one of the guys that made an impact on me in my life.
What was it about him?
No, he just believed in work. You know what I'm saying? Getting that workroom, and he wasn't afraid to get in stuff like that. Yeah. But everybody, you know what I'm saying, just always was there. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's who took me here to come watch practice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Came after I signed. That's who brought me up here. That's who was like, he was one of the guys. Yeah, you should go to LSU. You know, even though my mom was the decision maker. Yeah, he was. That was his thing.
Okay. Toughest opposing player you had the game plan for. So what I mean by that is when you watching the film.
From as a coach or as a player?
As a coach and a player.
As a player, you know, when you playing Jerry.
Right.
Had to play Jerry. You know, those guys, you got to give Jerry the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jerry, you had to play Michael Irvin. So it was guys that you had to, in that look, you know what I'm saying? Those guys you had to be ready to go. go against and be in a mindset. You know, like it's win some, you lose some.
Right.
You win some, but you want to win more than you lose.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But like toughest player, we say we had the game plan for. And I'm going back. You know what I'm saying? Going back when I was here the first time, going back here to being at from 2012 to 2022, a guy that we know, Kyle Pitts.
Florida.
He was
a monster.
Monster, dog. Don't get me wrong, the guys from Bama was good.
Yeah,
was good. But Kyle Pitts was a matchup for DBs. He was big for DBs at the time, and then for linebackers to cover him, he was like, we couldn't stop him.
Right. That's why I can't understand why he not
in college. I'm talking about college.
But in the league for the Falcons, I just can't understand why he.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they're not using it right or what the keys may be.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Kyle Pitts. If you look at his
in college, he was a monster.
You couldn't stop him.
Yeah,
he
for sure. What, he like
6'7",
6'6"?
Yeah, 6'6", and then he could run.
Yeah,
but that can run past you, and his catch radius and all that stuff because you can line it tight end, put him on the corner, boom, just run away from him, put him out there in the slot. He can run away from you.
Yeah.
Put him out there. You know what I'm saying? They just used him. I think Kyle Pitts was one of the guys that we had to worry about. Like, man,
yeah.
Like,
what we gonna do?
What we gonna do against this dude?
He like Megatron, bro. That's the closest thing since him.
And he was a Megatron being out there in college.
Yeah.
And he was that guy.
Favorite baseball player of all time?
Ooh, okay.
I'm dying to hear this one.
Okay, I'm going.
Because I'm a baseball guy, too.
Ozzie Smith.
Ooh, the Wizard.
The Wizard, because I played shortstop.
Gotcha. Now, the only thing about Ozzie, he couldn't bat that good.
He couldn't bat.
He could bunt.
He could bunt. But I just loved how he played the.
Yeah, he was nasty.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was the best fielder, like hitter. You had some guys that can hit the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, from today than was back in that time. You know what I'm saying? Dale Murphy, because of seeing those guys and stuff like that. But yeah, I liked it.
Ozzie was nasty, dog. Like,
because I played shortstop, so that's why I was.
What he got, like 18 Gold Gloves?
Yeah, like Ozzie
something crazy like that.
So that's why it was my thing.
Yeah.
And like I say, if you want to say basketball, I'm a Lakers fan, diehard.
Mamba?
Always just been a diehard Lakers fan. I'm Jamal Wills, Bob McAdoo.
Okay, you going back there.
Norm Nixon. I'm that type of Lakers fan.
Gotcha. So McAdoo your favorite?
Magic. I love Magic.
McAdoo.
Oh, Bob Mac. He wasn't my favorite, but he was on that team. I could tell you everybody that was on that team.
Gotcha.
Now Magic was my guy, but then Kobe came.
So it's hard for you to pick one.
But I was a Lakers fan. Like I like the Lakers, LeBron on the Lakers, so I like LeBron.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I know if you look at, he's a Lakers fan.
I'm a Rockets fan.
I'm a Lakers fan.
I'm a Rockets fan. I've been a Rockets fan since I was in 4th grade, bro.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So that goes back to you how I've been I'm a true Lakers. You see what I'm saying? Everybody just say, well, you like the Lakers because of LeBron. You like the Lakers because of Kobe. You like the Lakers because of Shaq. Because Shaq was in school with us here at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So now
you was here when Shaq was
here. And Chris Jackson.
That was a time.
Yeah, I was here with all them guys.
That was a time, bro. You knew Shaq was gonna do what he did in the leleague.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him when he was here.
They used to foul him all the time. When he was here.
He was athletic.
And a lot of people don't know Chris Jackson was Steph before Steph.
That's what I'm talking about. Chris Jackson, man. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was able to see all those guys. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good time here in Baton Rouge at that time.
For sure.
So we just wasn't winning like we should in football, but it was a good time. You still had the support.
I think what your junior year was probably your best year, huh?
Yeah, we won conference. I think it was his sophomore year we won conference.
Because your senior year, y'all went like 4-7.
Yeah, we was bad that year. We was bad.
Yeah.
We was, you know what I'm saying? But still had the best pass defense. So I tell you, we could stop the run.
Yeah,
but people couldn't throw on us.
But like you say, y'all ain't have it up there in the trenches.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that you establish. No matter what they say about the pass, you establish the trenches. You just have to be. You have to be great, but you just have to be good because you're gonna have dudes that can cover around here.
Yeah.
You're gonna have dudes that can get out the people.
Yeah. Athletes.
You're gonna have athletes here.
Favorite artists to listen to?
Ooh. Wow. You gotta go generations for me.
Let's go.
I'm a Biggie guy. Biggie
too. I mess with Biggie.
I'm with Biggie. I'm all Biggie. Because when I was in that era when going to being in with the Giants and Biggie.
Oh yeah, you was up there around the time.
So you know what I'm saying? I was there. Then it became, But I was always listening to my South music, though. I was always turning them boys on to everybody down South and stuff like that. So, and, I was always, but Biggie is one of my, I'm gonna like Wayne. I'm gonna like all those. I like rap. I like I like rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big hip hop guy.
For sure.
So I was listening to Busta Rhymes, all those guys, Leader of the New School. I was up in that era when it started getting Tupac, Snoop. I'm in that era of listening to
That's
guys.
when music meant something. No?
Yeah, it meant something and stuff like that. But like I said, he's turning boys on to Master P before and turn them on to some BG before the game too. Now, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we
it's an uptown thing.
Yes. So I'm saying, and the big timers turned on, and that's it. Then it became Wayne. So it became in that era. Everybody, about Joe Black. When I was in college, that's one of my guys right there.
Yep, for sure. I don't know if you're into boxing, but favorite boxer all the time.
Ooh. I'm an Ali, because you know what's so crazy? I used to see Wide World of Sports, so we used to see him boxing. You know what I'm saying? They used to be there live. You see him with Joe Frazier. It wasn't pay-per-view then.
Right.
So you got to see the Wide World of Sports. You got to see that. So Ali.
And
Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then the pay-per-view came. You know what I'm saying? So once that came, I got to go, I used to go to boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? I got to see Oscar De La Hoya fight.
For real?
Yeah.
In his prime?
Prime, yeah. That was cool.
Damn.
Yeah, that's when I started going see Oscar De La Hoya them fight. That was cool going to boxing matches. But I was old. I'm from Liberia. I got to do a lot of things that
You'd experience a lot.
A lot. Been a blessing experience, and it came through going to school here.
Yeah.
Being able to be in New York, being able to coach here. You know what I'm saying? The experiences that I was able to have, and to give back.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Give back. I was able to give back. Give back a lot.
Last question for you. If you wasn't coaching football, what would Corey Raymond be doing with his life?
I'd probably be a social worker. Always working with kids.
It's a testament to the relationship building and the connection.
Yeah, probably been a social worker. That's what I would have been doing.
I can see it. Smooth operator.
Yes, it's helping people, man.
Yeah,
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can get out there and dig some ditches, but I wasn't trying to do that.
Right.
Pick some cane, but I wasn't trying to do that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So those things were that's what I would be doing, social work. Just helping people, being a servant.
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff like that.
Doing God's work.
Yeah, that's all it is, doing that work. And like you said, I'm mild mannered. You ain't gonna see me. You gonna always see me. I try. I stay calm through the storm. Always.
Yeah, even kill.
Gotta stay even kill. And I tell her, and it goes back to even recruiting guys. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I want guys that are critical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a critical thinker at this position. At the end of the day, you got to be able to process stuff in quick seconds. So it's critical thinking moments.
Is that a trait that you can develop once they get here, or they have to already have that trait before they get here?
It's but it goes back to playing different sports. You create that.
Yeah.
It's created.
Yeah.
Because while you're making decisions in different sports, you're making decisions at crucial times. Or you playing in the backyard against guys. 3, 2, 1. Man, this is like we playing in the backyard, man. Hey, 1-on-1, dog. I'm about to catch it over you, dog. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Them little things. And I know guys don't do it as much. They doing it on the video game now, but we did it outside.
Yeah.
But being that multiple sport athlete, you create that critical thinking. Now let's put some technique in the critical thinking.
Yep. And if you got the measurables to go with it,
now you create it, you know what I'm saying? And everybody, you see, this is the thing where people miss. You still got to develop guys, no matter how talented they are. Because you can have talented guys, but it's how you develop them. Because they're only going to reach their certain, because if you don't teach them, they're going to reach, they're going to be good, don't get me wrong, but their skills going to diminish. What do they do when their skills diminish? But take a guy that's a great athlete, make him a great technician. Boom. Now you could take the average guy, make him a great technician. And stuff like that. Now he can fight his way through things, but he still got to be an athlete. Still got to be an athlete.
And that's how you have longevity. Because Father Time coming.
Oh, all day he coming on. He coming. He come and get you. He come and get you no matter what. He come and get you in coaching. You know what I'm saying? The way it is now. He come and get you in coaching. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he too old. He can't relate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm
do
good.
it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm still good.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
a hell of a job.
My kids keep me young, keep me vibrant. I mean, I might listen to a little bit of stuff. I listen to a little bit of music that they listen to.
Yeah.
Every now and then before a game, I listen to some things.
Yeah.
Get myself going.
Right.
And stuff like. But I'm gonna still go some old school BG.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still go some old school. Little things like that.
Were you surprised that Tyron called it a career yesterday?
Yeah, I was very surprised. You know what I'm saying? Very, very surprised. I didn't see it coming. So wish him the best. Great. Like I always say, greatest defensive player in LSU history. Always gonna preach that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And, like I say, man, it'd be good for him to come back, see the guys. And the guys do come back. We need to get more guys back so these guys can see the tradition, see that. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be back so the guys have people that they know, get people to know to come back, to understand. Because everybody want to win around here. You know what I'm saying? We all pulling the same string, so we need everybody. We need the whole state. We want to win. And that's what people don't get. We want everybody to pull together so for this, the community, for the state, because we want to win. The state, when LSU's doing their thing,
everybody
state is vibrant.
Everybody
state is vibrant. I ain't gonna, you know that like I know that.
Everybody
when LSU
win.
losing, no matter what, I love this. I like the Saints. I'm always gonna be a Saint. But if LSU doing their thing, and if the Saints doing it, it comes even better. You know what I'm saying? But these people believe
getting raises and everything start happening.
People believe purple and gold.
Yeah.
No matter what, the difference is even up north they believe purple and gold. See, up north you got more Cowboy fans, but they all LSU fans.
You think Tyron got any coaching in his future?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he do. Since he coaching his kids and doing that. I'm sure he is. You get that passion. You know what I'm saying?
I think he'll be a hell of a coach.
Yeah, he'd be a hell of a coach. He'd be a game changer.
Man, this was an insightful podcast, C-Ray, bro. Appreciate you taking the time.
Man, hey, like I say, bro, I appreciate y'all. I don't come out too much.
I know it. That's why I don't take it for granted.
Yeah, I don't come out too much, but I'm appreciate that y'all, was able to give me the opportunity to say some things. That sometimes I do want to say things, but I kind of stay, man.
Right.
I kind of be like, nah, I don't need to stay solid. Just look in the background. Just do your stuff in the background. But everybody's confident.
Right.
Like I say, I don't trust me. I got a lot of swag in me.
I know it.
I got a lot of, but it's a calm swag.
Yeah.
It's a calmness of of what I do.
I like the side that everybody's gonna be able to see from you today.
Yeah.
That's what I like the most
for
about
sure.
stuff like this.
For sure. Because we do this podcast, man, to entertain, but we really like to do it for people to get a good insight on who you are as a person. People just know C-Ray, the DB coach, but we want them to get to know who C-Ray is as a person. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think you informed and educated a lot of people on your upbringing back in New Iberia and how you got started and your journey. And I think people will have a real appreciation for who you are as a person, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that. Definitely. I'm glad I was able to come, share that with people and share that with you guys. And man, I'm
come back in the near future, man.
Yeah,
you gotta come back on in the near future.
Come back and get those guys back. Get that win. Let's win this thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Let's play ball. Let's play great defense. Let's play great offense. Let's play great special teams, and let's do our thing. And let the chips fall. If we do it what we're supposed to do, great. And then let the chips fall where they fall.
Agreed, bro, man. Good luck to you and your room. Good luck to the team, man. Hopefully everybody stay injury free. I know fall camp is approaching, and this G-Sportz, man. We signing out.
Jacob Verdon, my guy Corey Raymond.
Appreciate it. Appreciate everything.
And we out.